Hey everybody, this is your boy Jim Austin. Jim Austin online all the time. I'm here broadcasting from the Stockyards recording studios. This is my podcast, The Austin File, where we talk about interesting people. We keep you abreast of what's happening. And my thing is commercial real estate. Let you know what's going on in the market, where the deals are. Today's a beautiful day up in the Stockyards, and if you haven't been up to visit, come up and check us out. We're at 21st and North Main. We're here. The coffee's always hot, so I encourage you to stop by sometime or just send me a text or an email. But today is another special day in the life of Jim Austin. We've got a great guest, my homeboy from New Jersey. How you doing, Scottie?
I'm trying to make every day a better day than it was yesterday.
Well, Dr. Scottie Mudbone Jones is here. We're doing a little interview with him because he's got some things coming up that you need to know about. Scottie's from Plainfield. I'm from Bloomfield. And I got my high school degree. Did you get yours, Scottie?
I got my high school degree from Plainfield High School, the Cardinals of Plainfield High School,
right.
Plainfield, New Jersey.
Right. You know, brothers in New Jersey getting their high school degree, and then we graduated, and we went on to get our college degree. I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., and where'd you go, Scottie?
I went to Norfolk State University. I went to Payne College in Augusta, Georgia, and Nova University's campus of University of Miami.
Okay. Well, see, he went to education track. I went to entrepreneur track, and we both enjoying lives, and we just got hooked back up because we're both members of the prestigious organization of Kappa Alpha Psi.
To the day we die.
To the day we die. I'll be celebrating 50 years this year, so I'm going to get my white jacket.
You made it to that pinnacle.
Yep, so it's a good thing. But I want to talk about, your past, your present, and your future, and what you've been doing, because your resume is long and mighty, and I know we have some mutual friends, but we're getting ready to have some fun coming up this weekend at the warehouse on Berry. We're going to be on the 20th of March. Dr. Jones is coming in with his 8-member band, and we're going to play a little bit of everything: some soul, some R&B, some blues, some jazz, and maybe even some gospel.
Yeah, we might have to take you back to the good house at least once.
Yes. So over at the warehouse, we're trying to give that Caravan of Dream vibe, that Buttons vibe, where we're bringing in good music, and we've got Houdat on the food and daiquiri. So let's talk about you, Doc. You got that PhD in music, and you're a bad boy when it comes to the music.
I try. It was being the oldest son of a Baptist deacon / minister and the oldest grandson of a Baptist minister. I got my start sitting on a Hammond B3 on my father's lap at 4 years old, hitting buttons. Okay. And once I hit the buttons to the point where they actually sounded like something, my father said, you might be able to do this later on. So as time went on, I came from a real structured and very disciplined and religious Christianity household. So as time escalated, the Lord blessed me almost at every instrument I picked up, I could play it. But they sent me to private lessons. After private lessons, I would get lazy and didn't want to practice. So my father said, you got one of two options. You're either going to play your music, you're going to be an athlete, or you're going to go out and get a job. Because you're not going to live at 286 Chelsea Boulevard and do nothing.
Yep. We in Jersey, we get them calls.
Yes,
because, I don't know about you, but as soon as I graduated from high school, sayonara.
I graduated on Monday. Wednesday morning, I was in Navy boot camp. I couldn't give them another 48 hours at 286. Monday was a graduation. Tuesday, I was in basic training. Gotta go.
It's that mentality coming out of New Jersey. That you got to go ahead and get out on your own, and do your thing.
And it has to be done in the standpoint that in the event that you do have to come back, you come back because you wanted to, not because you had to.
Right. I moved to Texas in '77,
Okay.
and soon after I got here, my brother came. A year later, my sister came. 4 years later, and my parents came about 10 years later. So they had to get out of that cold.
Yes, sir.
That cold
The weather
weather
we had here a couple of weeks ago. I was back and forth on social media on Facebook talking to my people back home, and I thought they had put some of that in a box and mailed it down here because it was -6 and 2 above and 11 above. And I left Jersey. I think I may have been back 40 years, the last 40 years, maybe 10 times in the last 40 years. And I hate to go back for the reasons I go. Usually it's for a funeral, but Jersey is always going to be Jersey. You know how it is. Bloomfield's going to be Bloomfield, and Plainfield's going to be Plainfield. But I'll come in. I still got plenty of family and friends I grew up with there, but I'll come in. As long as I can see them on the internet, see them on Facebook, I know they're okay. I don't have to go home.
Well, tell us what you've been doing, since you finished your PhD, and I know you play music, and I know you've been playing with some of the greats.
Yeah, I've had the honor of sharing the stage with some of the most well-known entertainers in the industry. I've played with Roberta Flack. I've played with Gloria Estefan. I've played with Tony Braxton in Las Vegas, Victor Willis, the lead singer from the Village People, Peebo Bryson in Atlanta. So I've had the opportunity to share the stage with some of the best. In this industry, people get this large premonition, oh, you played with this person, you played with that person, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still a job. Just like people go up, they'll come here to the Jim Austin empire, so to speak. When you're on stage, that's what it is. I don't look at being on stage as a promised job, because it's not always there. There's opportunities where the music industry is gone where no man has ever gone before. Then there's time when you're eating a cup of soup and Fruit Loops. I've been blessed and fortunate to play music for my entire life. And I've also been fortunate enough to play with the type of people that, if you don't encompass yourself with the people that have the same premonition and mindset that you do, you're wasting your time and theirs too. This business can be quite fruitful. It can also be quite uneventful. So you got to put yourself in a parameter box and say, okay, either I'm going to do it today, I'm going to do it tomorrow. In this business, it's not promised to you, because it has its ups and downs, just like any corporation or industry. But the music business has gone in so many different circles and directions over the last 199,000 years that right now, if you got an opportunity to be on a stage and do it live, or do it in a recording session, or do it no matter what level you're doing it in, take advantage of it then. Because if you don't, in this business, tomorrow's not promised to you.
If you had to give some advice to a young person that's wanting to major in music and had the pleasure to go out to the State Fair Classic to see the Grambling play Prairie View. It was a lot of fun. It was at the Globe Life Field, and they had Langston University band there, and they was throwing down. I mean, they were really doing it. I was just real proud to see the participation in them young musicians and moving forward. So if you had some advice, and I'm sure you're a teacher and educator, what would you say would be the one thing to focus when you're trying to get your music game together?
Become a master. It's as simple as that. Become a master of your craft. Because once you become a master of your craft, your knowledge of the business can't be infiltrated. And there's three things that you really have to be able to set into your mind and into your heart to be beneficial in this business: is dedication, commitment, and determination. If you've got those three in the music business, I've seen children, I've seen adults, young adults, preteens actually learn instruments that they never knew they had the talent to do. So if you're determined, committed, and dedicated, the sky's the limit.
Okay. Okay.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah. And I'm sure you went that path, and you're glad you did.
Reverend Jones was on me. I didn't have a choice. I knew that if I didn't excel in it, I had to deal with him.
Okay.
And him and Martha Jones, when it came to my music, you're either going to do it and you're going to do it the right way, or you're not going to do it at all. So there was no in between. You either going to do it or you're not. So I took a sabbatical. I don't want to play anymore. I'm tired. It's not fun. But knowing what was going to be the consequences if I didn't, Rev wasn't hearing that.
Okay. So are you teaching now? What are you doing?
Well, I still give private lessons. I have quite a few students that I give private instruction to. But as far as teaching, I lost my thrill. I used to be the band director at Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it's not fun to me anymore because I've gotten to the point where when it's not fun, you need to start slowly pulling yourself back. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still fulfilling, but it's not fun anymore. So I've got a couple of young students that I teach drums, piano, and guitar to, but other than that, I'm not trying to be in a classroom setting because I don't think I have the patience anymore. Okay. I developed it years ago, but slowly as I started to get older, I see myself, the child now is still, they're so much different than the way we were when we were learning what we were learning from our parents. You know, I'm real heavily involved in the community because I'm the zone vice president of the Pee Wee Football League, so I see these kids daily. Some of my students are actually players, so it's fulfilling to see them flourish when they get older, but the fun of standing in the classroom and tapping the baton, I just lost the thrill.
Okay.
It's just not any fun anymore. But I'm who knows? 10 years from now, I may want to go back into a classroom setting and tap my stick again.
Okay.
But as of right now, it's just not, I don't think that's where my calling is. My calling is being out there on the field with those young kids, giving them a foundation and a direction to be able to get themselves started to be successful. And if they want to use music as one of their catalysts or platforms, then I'll be there to give them the advice.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're going to be in Fort Worth Saturday night, the 20th of March, at the warehouse, 1125 East Berry. And you got an 8-piece band that's going to be with you. Tell my audience, you know, what they can expect if they come out and come to see you.
Well, the theme of our show is where were you when you heard this last? So if you have any type of history with music or situations, romantic situations, school situations, job situations where back in the day you were feeling yourself or feeling the situation the way it was and it wasn't the way you thought it should be, and a specific song you heard made you remember, okay, I could do this, I did that, I was here, I was there. That's the type of music we're going to bring Saturday. We sort of touch a little bit on this new neo-soul thing, but we don't venture too deeply into it. Everything we're bringing you is from the 60s and up. Stuff that you guys 40 and older will be able to relate to. And when you hear it, you're like, man, I haven't heard that since I was in my second year of college, and we was at the club doing this, or at the student union, or we were in the military here. So we try to take you back down memory lane and give you stuff that you may not hear on the radio on a frequent basis, but it still exists.
Well, I'm a music lover. I just enjoy music, and you know, old school, new school, you know, I just enjoy music. And you know, Isaac Hayes was one of my favorite, you know, musicians.
Him and Curtis Mayfield, they laid the bricks.
Right.
They laid the bricks.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to put it. They laid the foundation.
Yep.
So we may touch on a little Isaac. I'm going to see if I can pull a rabbit out of a hat and make that happen.
Okay. You know.
Definitely try.
And, you know, you legends like Donny Hathaway,
Oh,
Roberta
wow.
Flack. You know, I mean, boy, you go deep.
Yeah.
Because at Howard, we went deep.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. By all means.
Yeah.
By all means. I had it. You definitely had it in the Chocolate City. No doubt.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
So am I, very much so.
You know, I saw a little bit of your band when they backed up Triple Threat. And from what I understand, it's a whole nother level to what's going to happen on Saturday.
It's going to be there. That's the easiest way to put it.
Well, I encourage you, you know, get your tickets. We've got quite a few people already bought their tickets. We're social distancing. Temperature will be taken, and security, and we've got food from Who Dat, you know, Cajun red beans and rice and all that stuff. Tickets are, I think, $25. Yeah, they're reasonable. And we're going to have 2 shows. And we're kicking off. Doors open at 8 o'clock. Show starts at 9 o'clock. Or, you know, if you're VIP, tickets are $35. You can go online to Jim Austin Online, get your tickets, and come on out, because we're doing some live music. I've invited a lot of my friends, and we are going to do it'll be in the newsletter tomorrow, and I know you're pushing it.
Oh,
and all
my organization, we're pushing it hourly, because we want as many people as the building will be capacitated to without overdoing this COVID-19 thing. We want the room as packed as we can have it.
Yep. And then,
within sight and reason.
Yeah, and what we do is when it's a success, you know, we'll come back and try to do it monthly.
And we're ready to come whenever the doors will accept us.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah, we're about music over there in the neighborhood. But it is sure a pleasure to meet you and get to talk to you and work with you, my brother.
Very much so, my brother.
Because your energy
pleasure is ours.
Energy is contagious.
Appreciate it.
And
thank you so much.
Being men of Kappa Alpha Psi, achievement.
To the day we
you know, that's what we all about.
That's it. Achievement.
So we've invited the Kappas to come out. We're gonna have a good crowd, and yeah, just go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. If you had something that you wanted to share, maybe how people could reach you, a website.
Yes, if you want to get in touch with me and my organization, which is called MICRA Incorporated. MICRA is an acronym for Musical Integrity Creating Reliable Artists. You can contact me at microincpromotion@gmail.com or Micra Inc. on Facebook, Micra Inc. _ on Instagram. Give me a call. If you want to talk to me in person, the number is 214-254-5368. And hopefully I get to see each and every one of you that are watching this podcast Saturday night.
There it is, my brother. Hey, this is your boy Jim Austin, up here in the historic Stockyards. Encourage you to come on up. We got about 3 million people a year that come up here to just check out the Western history, and we just asked them to come by and check out our Western Heritage Museum, which is just downstairs. So I look forward to seeing you on the roads. I want to tell you thank you for tuning in to Jim Austin Online, my podcast, The Austin Hour. So thanks so much. Talk with you later. See you later, Scottie.
See you, Jim, and thank you all.